हाँ जी, तो बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. So let us now start the class.
This is our online lecture on device fabrication. In the previous lecture, we started with chapter number 4 from the book Semiconductor Device Fundamentals by Robert F. Parrott. And so far, we have completed 4 articles, that is Article 4.1.1 to Article 4.1.4 concerning the fabrication of semiconductors. And on this online, we will complete our syllabus concerning device fabrication. That is, in this online lecture, I want to cover Article 4.1.5, thin film deposition, and Article 4.1.6, the epitaxy. So I will now switch to the PDF file. So this is the article, thin film deposition, article number 4.1.5. Thin film deposition means the connection of terminals to the wafer. To connect device structure to the outside requires the deposition and patterning of metal layers. In fact, complex ICs have 3 and sometimes 4 electrically isolated metallization layers. Electrical isolation of the metal layers in turn requires the deposition of intervening dielectric layers. Thin films are also deposited to prevent interdiffusion of materials and to protect the device from or circuit from contamination. In use, methods for depositing the required films are reviewed in the coming sections. And the first section is evaporation. Evaporation is one of the older and most straightforward methods of thin film deposition. As shown in figure 4.12, the material to be the material as shown in figure 4.12, the material to be evaporated is placed in or on a resistor heated inside a vacuum chamber. To evaporate aluminium, for example, a short piece of aluminium wire would be placed on a tungsten film filament or a boat. The substrate on which the thin film is to be deposited is also positioned inside the chamber facing the source. The chamber is then evacuated, power supplied to the holder, and source vaporized. Because of the reduced pressure, the source material travels unimpeded to the substrate and deposits as a thin film. Generally speaking, hot filament evaporation is subject to moderately high level of contamination. Electron beam evaporation, a variation of the process where the source is heated by an electron beam, eliminates contamination but generates device degrading X-rays. Subsequently, evaporation is seldom used in the production line fabrication of modern ICs, although it is still extensively used in making simple devices where the cited problems are of minimal concern. So this was the evaporation technique, and then comes sputtering technique. Sputtering, like evaporation, is performed in a vacuum chamber. The source material and the substrate wafer are placed on opposing parallel plates connected to a high voltage power supply as shown in figure 4.13. During a deposition, the chamber is first evacuated of air and then a low pressure amounting of sputtering gas, typically argon, is admitted into the chamber. Applying an inter-electrode voltage ionizes the argon gas and creates a plasma between the plates. Since the plate covered with source material is maintained at a negative potential relative to the substrate, argon ions, positive ions are accelerated towards the argon in turn cause source atoms or molecules to be ejected from this plate. Being neutral, the ejected atoms or molecules readily travel to the substrate where they deposit to form the desired thin film. A DC power supply can be used when depositing materials, and the radio frequency supply is necessary when depositing insulating films. When sputtering compounds, it is sometimes necessary to introduce a gas of one of the components to assure the formation of a near isometric film, providing low temperature, low contamination film with an acceptable throughput. Sputtering has become the chief commercial method of depositing aluminum and other metals. So in this diagram, figure 4.13 shows the schematic DC sputtering system. The source material covers the cathode. Here we have the cathode terminal, and here we have the anode terminal, and a vacuum is maintained inside the chamber. The wafer is placed on the anode. The source material covers the cathode while the wafer is mounted on the system anode. The substrate on which this film is to be deposited is also positioned inside the chamber. The chamber is evacuated and power supplied to the holder. And since the pressure is reduced, the source material travels unimpededly to the substrate and deposits as a thin film. So as a result, evaporation is seldomly used in production. As mentioned earlier, the evaporation process is rarely used in production line. However, this process of sputtering, it is used major technique. Now we come to the third technique, that is the chemical vapor deposition. In chemical vapor deposition, the thin film is formed from one or more gas phase components. Either a compound decomposes to form the film, or reaction between gas components take place to form the film. Invariably, the chemical vapor deposition reactions are surface crystallized, preferentially taking place on the surface of wafers inserted onto the gas stream. In use, CVD process fall into one of the three general categories. They are atmospheric pressure, low pressure, and plasma enhanced process. The atmospheric pressure depositions can be performed in relatively simple system. Low pressure often offers comparable kinetic with improved uniformity and less gas consumption. In plasma CVT, the electrons in the plasma impact energy on the reaction gases, thereby enhancing the reactions and permitting very low deposition temperature. Chemical vapor deposition reactors come in a variety of shapes and configurations. An example of configuration employed in AP, LP, CVD deposition is shown in figure 4.14. Chemical vapor deposition process is routinely used to produce the masking and intermetallic dielectric film required in the formation of complex ICs. Polycrystalline silicon, which functions as a pseudo metal and have heavily doped, is used deposited employing atmospheric and low pressure chemical vapor deposition. The atmospheric pressure chemical vapor deposition, also called APCVD or low pressure CVD, and the plasma enhanced CVD are all typically used in some point in an IC process flow. So these are the three techniques for thin film deposition. Now we come to Article 4.16, the epitaxy. Epitaxy is a special type of thin layer deposition, whereas deposition described in the preceding subsection give either atmosphere or amorphous or crystalline films. Epitaxy produces a crystalline layer that is an extension of the underlying semiconductor lattice. The word epitaxy is in fact derived from two Greek words meaning upon arranged, commonly formed from the vapor phase deposition of silicon tetrachloride or a saline compound in a reactor very similar to those employed in chemical vapor deposition. Additionally, silicon literally grows following the latest pattern of pre-existing crystal. The doping of the epi layer, intentionally distinct from that of the substrate, is controlled by introducing a dopant containing gas such as phosphine, diphromane, or arsine. Standard whole wafer epitaxy must, of course, be completed earlier in the process flow prior to the growth or deposition of any permanent surface film. And we should also note that starting silicon wafers are sometimes purchased from the wafer supplier with desired epi layer already in place. So these were our 6 articles related to semiconductor device fabrications. And in the next following lectures, inshallah, we will cover some special semiconductors that are used in electronics. They include the tunnel diode, the LEDs, the laser diodes, and so on. Okay. So I will mark the attendance. Okay. So I have downloaded the attendance sheet. Thank you very much for your time. I will finish the lecture over here. Please go through the textbook, read all of the 6 articles, and if there are any questions, we can discuss those questions in our coming lectures. Okay. So thank you very much.